if you want to buy a house with as little cash as possible, I have 4 ways you can do that with the lowest down payment. As a loan officer, when I help people purchase a house, many times people will come to me and they will ask me about the money they need to close. And in many cases, I find people have pretty good credit, they have pretty good income, they qualify for a house, but they just don't have the down payment money. And so we start talking about low down payment options. The first of the 4 is an FHA loan. So an FHA loan is kind of an interesting one in that you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. It only requires 3.5% down on the purchase price, so it's a smaller down payment. And like I said, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. There's also no income caps in terms of sometimes programs where you make too much money, it eliminates you, and FHA does not eliminate you. In most situations, you can get approved down to a 580 credit score. And the other good thing about this FHA loan is even if you have a 580 credit score, the down payment and the mortgage insurance doesn't change. Everybody gets the same regardless of how you're coming into the program. So that's the first, the FHA loan. So the second one is conventional loans. Conventional loans require either 3 or 5% down. If you are below the 80% median income in your area, they will allow you to do 3% down, and you actually don't have to be a first-time home buyer. You can have that loan multiple times. If you are above that 80% median income, there is some options if you are a first-time home buyer to still do 3% down. But if you're above that and you're not a first-time home buyer, then you would have to do 5% down. So on conventional loans, it ranges between 3 and 5% down as far as the lowest down payments. The next one would be USDA loans. USDA loans are considered rural development loans. What's interesting about them is they're in specific areas. So if you buy a house in one of these specific areas, you can get 100% financing. This means that you don't have to put any money down. In fact, if the house appraises for more than the purchase price, you can not only finance the loan at 100%, but you can finance some of the closing costs in there. So in this situation, if a house was to appraise for say $305,000, but the purchase price was $300,000, you could actually take that extra $5,000, finance it in your loan, and use it towards closing costs. A lot of times people think rural development loans are not for them, and the reason why they think that is they go, well, this house is in too much of an urban area. But when you check the map, you'll see, oh, they do qualify for that in terms of that area. Sometimes the rural development areas come real close to urban areas, and there's houses you wouldn't expect that would qualify. And then obviously the last one is the VA loan. The VA loan is obviously for somebody that has been in the military or is currently in the military. It's 100% financing. What's pretty cool about the VA loan is there's no mortgage insurance. So even though you're not doing a down payment, you're going to have no mortgage insurance and you're going to have a significantly lower payment because that's not calculated into the payment. VA loans will go down to a 580 credit score, and the guidelines are pretty lenient in terms of helping somebody use their VA eligibility to buy a house. All of these programs can be paired with a down payment assistance program. So when you're getting ready to buy a house, you should definitely investigate if there's any programs in that local city, township, then obviously on the county level, state level, and even on the federal level. Because at the end of the day, if you combine one of those programs with the loan types that I talked about above, you might even be able to reduce your cash to close even further. And that saves you even more money as far as bringing cash to the table. But these are all good options, and keep them in mind when it comes time to purchase a house.